Hello. Greetings from Tinseltown. Hello, Esther. This is Prairie Land Jill. I am along Hollywood Boulevard today, and as you can see, there's lots of people, a huge crowd gathering. Actually, they're always here, and I'm going to show you all the attractions along Hollywood Boulevard as we go along. I'll be like your tour guide, and I'll also tell you the biography of the famous actor James Dean, who definitely has been a big presence in Hollywood in the past. Hey, look, there's a Latin booth. They have like best food here in LA. Well, let's get started. As we walk over the Chinese theater, let me get started with James Dean. He grew up in Indiana, Fairmount, Indiana, and after his mom had died, that's when he moved there. He went there and moved in with his aunt and his uncle. Hey, look, here's the Chinese theater. Let's get a view of it. Get back. Let's see. There's better. There's a better view right there. There you go. Chinese theater. That's where I'm at, and it's just right off of Hollywood Boulevard. Let's go ahead and see some of the people on it where they write their signatures in front of the Chinese theater. You can see. I want to show you the first one. This is Marilyn Monroe. Check this out. See it? There she is, Marilyn Monroe. Her hands are really small, and if you look at it, it looks kind of old. If you look at it in comparison to the other squares around it, it's a lot older looking. This was it says on there that it was 1953 when see the 53 when she did it. Now right above Marilyn Monroe is Sophie Loren. You see that? Let's see, Sophie Loren. She was a famous, very beautiful Italian actress who a lot of people love. But if you look at her, it's kind of interesting to see her handwriting. If you notice, hers is very, there we go, let's get right on it. Hers is very neat. You see how neat her handwriting is? I think that's interesting. Let's go on to some other people. But anyway, James Dean grew up with his aunt and uncle, and he played basketball at the high school there, and let's see. Yes. Oh, and then he took drama classes, and the thing he liked most was to be on stage. Well, let's show you Jamie Lee Curtis. Here she is. Look, Jamie Lee Curtis right here. Very famous actress in Hollywood. And if you look at the date on there, it's 2022 when this was done, so it's fairly recent. And she's one of my favorite actresses. She's very good. She just won an award for Best Supporting Actress in a movie this last Oscars. Okay, back to the story. And so James Dean won a drama competition in his local area when he was young. And then after that, he went to Los Angeles when he was going to college. He went to college at UCLA for a while. Let me find some other famous signatures around here. And he tried to join a fraternity at UCLA. He started doing that, but then he didn't last long because he was kind of rebellious, you know. He was having trouble fitting in with the authority figures in the fraternity. But he did take drama classes while he was at UCLA. Yeah. As you can tell, this is a very high energy, exciting place, and a very famous place. Things are going on. There's always life around here and vibrance and everything. Hollywood's like, you feel like you're in the center of everything here. See all the people? Anyway, I was getting more people. Let's see. There was somebody really famous along here. Where are they at? Anyway, so eventually he moved it. He was in LA, but then he decided he liked theater, so he moved to New York after that. And let's just go on then. You saw some famous people, right? And when he got to New York, he fit in. He loved it, but he used to go to one of his hangout spots was a restaurant called Jerry's Restaurant and Bar. It was an Italian restaurant. And let's go on down here. And he used to go in there and get spaghetti. Spaghetti was his favorite dish to eat. and he would always ask the owner and the waiter, his favorite waiter, "Can I have free spaghetti?" They would give him free spaghetti, which is they liked him a lot. But sometimes he would go in there and play the drums. He liked to play the drums. But eventually he joined the Lee Strasberg Theater in New York City, and he did all pretty well there until, I don't know, he rebelled a little bit. He was maybe a little rebellious, and so he didn't, maybe Lee Strasberg gave him criticism. Hey, look at this, check this out. This is some of the Latin fruit around here. You see how nice it is? It's like heaven. You know, if you ever want to have the best fruit in the world, come and have the Latin fruit they serve out here on the Hollywood Boulevard. See here, that's right there. That's pomegranates right there in those containers. See how they got every kind of tropical fruit you would want. Anyway, so where was it? Okay, so Lee Strasberg probably gave James Dean some advice on one of his scenes, and James Dean probably didn't like the advice. So after that, James Dean quit the Lee Strasberg School. But he was there for a while, and then after that, he became famous while he was still in New York, though, because he got a role in a show, a television show, which made him famous. And he had a part where he played a drunk person by the waterfront, which was kind of cool. It kind of fit his character too. Okay, so now we're at there's a place where there's a Salma Hayek. I want you to see her star. Here she is, right here.
We're gonna wait right over here, Jamie.
Can you see Salma Hayek? Right there. One of the most famous stars in Hollywood. We all love her. Yeah, there she is. I just wanted you guys to see that one. One of my favorite actresses. Okay, so back to the story. So, here's the Hard Rock Cafe, if you can see it. Yeah, Hard Rock Cafe in the middle of Hollywood. So anyway, when he's still in New York, so that role made him famous, that he got on the television show. But he also, when he was in New York, he had a girlfriend, and one time he told her what his favorite book was, and he showed it to her. It was called The Little Prince. Look at it. These are so cool too, guys. If you can see it, it's like the Latin people here, they draw out here, and their drawings are better than anybody else's drawings. Sometimes they'll draw pictures of, this one's a picture of Hollywood. If you can see it, see that on the picture of Hollywood? Very good. See how good they do them? They just, see, there it is again. But they're like the best artists you see around. Oh yeah, so he was back to the story. So his favorite book was The Little Prince, and he told the girl the story was about him, and he was like the little prince he was a little prince. And in the story, there was a little boy who was born on a star, and here, look, there's a Dolby Theater, if you can see it. Let's get a little closer. He was born on a star. See that? That's the Dolby Theater. You can see the words are right in the middle there. But this is where I think they have the Oscars every year, and this is where the entrance to the Oscars. See, if you go in there like that, if you go in there, straight in there, they'll have the red carpet set up every year. Anyway, so back to the story. So, hey, check this out though. Before the story continues, my friends, this is the Jimmy Kimmel Theater right here. And this is where they film the late night show, Jimmy Kimmel. It's just right off the street. You can just walk in there right off the street, except for the guards, of course. You would not try that. But yeah, that's where and here's where they film showings of lots of Hollywood cartoonish animated movies, the El Capitan. So back to James Dean. So anyway, the little boy was born on a star, and while he was on the star still, he planted a rose, and then he left the star and went to Earth and lived on Earth. He didn't ever go back to the star, but while he was on Earth, sometimes he'd look up at the stars at night, and he'd dream of the stars, and he'd wonder if that little rose on the star was wanting him to come back home to the star one day. But one day, the little boy did die on the Earth, but it was a touching story. Okay, so let's see. I wanted to show you guys this. See this? They have these things on Hollywood Boulevard. A lot of times they just come up and they park along the road here. but you rent they're sports cars, like luxury cars that people can rent, and you can rent for a number of hours and stuff. Oh, here's one of the best performers I've seen right here on Hollywood Boulevard. He's so still, he looks like a stone, my friends, and he does it for so long. I wonder if he doesn't get too tired, but somehow he figures it out, and he's like the best performer I've seen. Yeah, he's awesome. Thumbs up from him. Have a good day. And let's see. So there, remember that was the sports car, and yeah, you can rent that out here. Yeah. Okay, so back with the story of James Dean. Here's some more Mexican food and stuff, hot dogs and stuff. Okay, James Dean. So he went to eventually he went to Hollywood after he was in New York, and there's something else around here that I want to show you guys. Hope you're catching some stuff. I'm not really covering a lot of ground today. I'm just covering part of Hollywood Boulevard that's around Hollywood and Highland, that area, Chinese theater, TLC theater. We went by the TLC already. And here's a guy that performs a lot. He plays Michael Jordan a lot. It's number 23. He's like one of the best ones out. He's like the best one out here, really, with this thing. Yeah. And yeah, so he's awesome. Let's see. Okay, so back to the story. So he moved to Hollywood there after New York, and he was just famous then, you know. Still, he was kind of like always playing like rebel characters and characters with aggression, and so yeah, that was kind of his part, his character, the part that he was good at playing. And then he did the movie. He did the movie East of Eden out here in Hollywood. He did the movie Rebel Without a Cause. He did the movie Giant, and Giant was his last movie. He loved to, you know, he was a little trouble maybe. He grew up without any parents. He didn't grow up with his dad or his mom. His mom died when he was young, but he ended up, you know. After the movie Giant was filmed, that was his last movie, and after that he liked to race cars. So after the movie was over, he was able to race his car on a racetrack. So he's driving up to race his car on a racetrack. And here's another museum. It's called like the Icons of Darkness. I think it might be a newer one that came out recently. They have a lot of monsters in there, and you see, here we go. So there's that, but if you can see anything else there, see? And anyway, so on his drive, he was kind of maybe around not too far from Bakersfield maybe, but he was out there on some highway, I think, driving to a town where there was a racetrack to go to a race. And he was driving real fast. I think maybe he liked to drive fast. And then he hit an intersection while driving fast, and some other car hit him and totally crushed his car and killed him. Sad, but it was. I saw a picture of his car. His car was really crushed. I'm talking about totally crushed. Anyway, so let's wrap this up. I hope you've seen some nice attractions out here, and hope you'll want to come visit, because this is the only place I like to hang out in the world, here in the heart of Hollywood, where I'm at right now. Okay, so. This is Prairie Langell signing off from Hollywood, California, and to you from the movie The Hunting Games. Happy hunting games, and may the odds be ever in your favor.